welcome back. Let's connect with the management of Garden Reach to talk about the order win by the company for 8 anti-submarine ships that's been awarded by the Defence Ministry worth a neat 6,300 crore rupees. And we have with us retired Admiral Vipin Kumar Saxena, the CMD of Garden Reach, joining in. Mr. Saxena, good morning and thank you for joining in. Congratulations about this order win. Tell us more about it. It's a 6,300 crore and what would be the execution period, and tell us how you clinched it, as this RFP also had other state-run and private shipbuilders too in the fray.
This particular RFP was issued in 2014 April somewhere, and it was on a competitive bidding basis involving both private major shipyards as well as the major defense public sector shipyards as well. And we have won this contract and this competitive bidding process. We became the L2 and the CSL was the L1, and as per the RFP stipulation, the L1 has to make 8 ships and the L2 8 ships, but L2 has to match the cost of the L1. So we have matched the cost of the CSL, that is Cochin Shipyard Limited, and that's how we are going to be, we have been awarded this contract on 29th of April this year. And as regards to the ASW shallow water craft, the build period of these ships is around total 84 months is the project's timeline. The first ship is planned to be delivered as per the contract within 42 months from the date of signing of the contracts, and thereafter 2 ships per year. That is going to be the construction schedule. And the cost of the contract, as you know, is 6,311 crores. And this entire project and the ship design will be done completely in-house by our own design team, which we have got a very strong in-house design team of 100 odd members in our design department. And because of that, we would be, I would say, quite comfortable in having a lot of indigenous content that would be put on board these warships.
Okay, you also recently commissioned a class 5 fast patrol vessel and 4 more in advanced stages of construction. So by when will you get the delivery for the rest, and what could be the revenue booking from these?
Of course, we delivered the 1 in number fast patrol vessels to the Coast Guard. That actually became the 99th warships delivery that has been done by the Garden Reach Shipbuilders and Engineers Limited to our forces. And we thereafter, immediately thereafter, on 30th of March, we delivered the 100th warship, that is the LCU L56, to the Indian Navy. So we became the first shipyard in the country to achieve this particular historic milestone. Now coming back to the revenue booking, etc., this FPV is basically 5 ships construction contract, not very big, but of course the first ship has been already delivered, and we expect that balance 4 ships will also get delivered in this financial year itself. And also along with completion of these ships delivery, we'll be having a good amount of revenue that would be coming from there. But the important point which I would like to highlight you is that we right now, with the signing of this ASW shallow water contract, the GRSE has got the 6 contracts now with us. The 5 contracts belong to the Indian Navy and 1 contract of Coast Guard, that is for the 5 fast patrol vessels. Now these we are planning to deliver 7 warships in this financial year to the Navy and the Coast Guard.
Mrs. Saxena, you have an order book of 22,000 crore rupees. What sort of order inflows are you penciling in for the next year, and export opportunities as well that you may be aiming at? What's the funnel looking like?
As of now, as you said, that around 22,000 crore was the order book before we signed this contract of ASW shallow water craft. Now having this contract signed, my order book has gone to 28,000 crores. So that is a quite healthy order book at this point of time. That is a second project that I have signed with the Indian Navy on a competitive bidding basis. Last year on October 30th, we have signed another contract which was also one on a competitive bidding basis for survey vessel large 4 in numbers. So I would say this 28,000 now order book with us. The way we are now planning to have the construction being undertaken by the shipyard such a fast rate, we expect that we would be now doing much better in terms of the revenue in the current financial year. That should be better than the last year. But however, I must say that the shipbuilding actually follows a particular shipbuilding cycle. and somewhere in the midway of the ship construction period, you book the maximum revenue. So therefore, I expect that the other projects, that is the P-17 Alpha project, that is for the construction of 3 number stealth missile frigates, which is very, very huge contract for us. The cost of this particular project is around 19,000 plus crores. So now this particular project is actually progressing quite well, and we expect that out of these constructions, the first ship has already completed 10% production, and second ship production already started. So we expect that from 2021 onwards, the shipyard, you will see a huge jump in terms of its revenue top line as well as the bottom line.
Okay, you're going to consider your fourth quarter results on 29th May. So without getting into numbers, if you could give us an indication of how it's been in terms of execution, internal budgeting goals, have they been met?
As I said, that we will be in the delivery phase of the 7 ships, that is against the 3 projects. In warship building, what happens, Pranay, that you would book the max revenue during the mid part of the ship construction. Delivery phase is the final touching, testing, tuning, trials and other things. So you do not actually get much of the revenue. Therefore, this year, of course, I am getting the good revenue coming from 17 Alpha, that is stealth missile frigate. The first ship construction already started. So my max revenue is coming from there. So this year, I expect that the company should be doing little better than last year, because at this point of time, because of the projects which are going in different phases, we would be doing a bit better as compared to last year. But thereafter, whether you take top line or bottom line, we would be, I would say, better off compared to 17 and 18. But from 2021 onwards, I expect a good growth, huge growth that should be taking shape, and the trajectory would be constantly moving upwards in coming 3 to 4 years time. So my future outlook as far as the shipyard is concerned and overall industry scenario is concerned, we have fairly good order book, and I expect that in the coming months and the years, a large number of RFPs would also come out from the Navy and the Coast Guard. That's what I've been hearing from there. So it is good news for not only for the GRSE, for rest of the industry, rest of the defense shipyards and other shipyards in the country who are making the warships. For all of us, we would be looking forward for responding to this RFP and trying to get more and more orders.
Okay, you've delivered 100 warships so far. You've entered a Diamond Jubilee year of operation. So what's the vision and wealth creation goal you'd like to share with your shareholders and your viewers?
I'm pretty sure that the shipyard would be, at least should look at 3%, 3 times the revenue going up from the current levels in next 3 to 4 years of time. So that is the kind of revenue growth I'm expecting. You also would appreciate that we are the only company which has got diversified into the engineering segment as well. And we have the other business verticals as well. And we have got a diesel engine business. We make the marine diesel engines at DEP Ranchi. We have got the different kind of portable steel bridges, we call it portable steel bridges, which are supplied to the Indian Army, the BRO and many state governments. So there's another business vertical. We have got a deck machineries. We make a lot of deck machinery equipment which goes on board ships. So here also we are putting a lot of thrust, and also another vertical which I am looking at, the refit and repairs of the warships. There's another very interesting field where the profit margins, and I would say, are much better than the warship construction.
All right, Mr. Saxena, thank you for joining in then and giving us a sense of what the 6,300 crore order means, and also, a quick snapshot of what exactly can we watch out for in FY24 Garden Reach Shipbuilders. Okay, well, stock price after all the give and take is down by approximately 1.9%, but with that we are out of time. So I'd like to thank all of our guests, Himen, for joining us on this short and sweet edition of Market Fatafat. Kunal and Soumya to you as well. Coming up next is Markets at Noon.